Yes, people, welcome back to the Next Gen on Indiana's channel, the First 11. Today, I'm joined by RJ and Jerry. How are we doing?
Doing
Yeah,
good.
we're good, bro.
Doing good. How are you feeling? Just speak to me straight away. Obviously, before we go into this show, I want to go straight into the news that has came out today of Tuchel being appointed as Chelsea manager. And before I get your thoughts on it, everyone who's watching right now, give me your thoughts. Put your live comments in. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have notifications on. So, RJ, I'll go to you first. Obviously, Lampard being sacked. I don't think that's came to him as a massive surprise to much people, but people could argue that he came after a win. You don't see that very often, but Frank Lampard has been sacked after a win, which is a little bit surprising. But speak to me, Tuchel being appointed today. How are you feeling on this whole situation from a rival?
Yeah, obviously, I do believe the sacking of Frank Lampard was pretty harsh. To be fair, he was only given 18 months to essentially just be in charge of Chelsea. First season, he had a transfer ban. He had Tammy Abraham up front, Mason Mount. Those were the main players that he had. He brought in 7 new players, including Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, and all that, who highly underperformed under him. And I feel like he wasn't given enough time. For me as a United fan, Ole could have been sacked just as easy, same as that. But moving back onto Chelsea, like I said, Tuchel is a very experienced manager. He can do big things for the club. He has created big stars like Christian Pulisic when he was at Borussia Dortmund. He had a better win rate than Klopp at Dortmund, which is very interesting when he's going to be playing them in the Prem. And he also had a very good win record at PSG when he had a win percentage of over 75%. So yeah, like he's a very experienced manager, very successful manager, and maybe it could be better for Chelsea. But as like Chelsea as it is, they demand results, they demand titles, they demand loads of good things, and if you don't give them that, they're going to kick you out of the job. Simple as that. And sadly, Frank couldn't do that.
Yeah, look, this is what a lot of people say. People say that Abramovich has been harsh, that this is not the way Chelsea should go. But look, I think that Chelsea, they want the best, don't they? And when you have a bad run of games, you have a bad run of games. But with Lampard, it's a little bit more than that. I think we've always known that Lampard hasn't got the experience. And I think that is one of the reasons he's been sacked. And you could argue it's the main reason. It all comes down to experience. And Lampard, put it frankly, he doesn't have any. Derby County, I've said this a million times, he's brought Derby from 6th to 6th. He got a playoff final. He didn't win that playoff final. So he has no winning experience as well. Look, this isn't me trying to take the piss, but his best winning achievement under Derby was winning against Leeds in a semi-final, and that is not winning mentality. So look, everyone watching, please get your comments in. Give me your thoughts on obviously Tuchel being appointed as Chelsea manager and Lampard getting sacked. Share the streams with whoever can as well. Jerry, give me your thoughts on it.
To be fair, like yesterday was a mad day, for all the Chelsea fan was. Basically, it was Lampard was the greatest player that led them to the Champions League final and to Europa League final. But for me, yeah, like if they keep sacking managers every 2 years, the best thing that Roman stopped doing is bringing Chelsea legends to the club as a manager, especially legends, because like someone like Lampard one can affect all the Chelsea fans because most of the Chelsea fans loved him. Some people are upset and it can split the Chelsea fan base apart. Like our fan base, we have and Arsenal's fan base as well. And for Tuchel, yeah, it'll be very interesting what he was going to do because he's worked with Thiago Silva in PSG,
Yeah.
and he also worked well with Christian Pulisic in Dortmund, and he did really well in PSG by taking them to Champions League final. So it will be interesting to see what he'll do with the squad because it's a very very talented squad.
Yeah, without a doubt, and I keep saying that as well. I think that with Tuchel coming in, it's not just an experienced and good manager coming in. It's a new manager. And what do you get with a new manager when you have great players? It's a manager bounce, isn't it? And Chelsea, without a doubt, have one of the best squads in the league. And I think Havertz, Werner, they can start firing now. And I think they can do some dangerous things for the league. But next, you were talking about Ole as well. Before I get into Ole's whole situation, I think he's doing an amazing job at Man United. I think what he's done there is incredible. I just want to get your thoughts on this final thing about Tuchel. So I think he's been given a 1.5-year contract. RJ, I'll go to you. Do you think he's going to see out the whole contract, and how do you think he's going to do in that 1.5 years? Obviously, that's to the end of next season.
Yeah, no, I do think Tuchel will do very well Do I think he'll get an extra contract? Probably not, but I think he's brought in for a reason. He's brought in for his experience. He's brought in for his how he's really created players. You know what I'm saying? And I do feel like he will make Havertz and probably Werner into the players that they are. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they were pretty poor when Frank Lampard was having them under charge, and it was really disappointing. You know, because obviously watching Werner in the Bundesliga, he was a goal machine. You know, the only player who really was better than him in that position was Lewandowski, and really, you know, Lewandowski he's pretty much the best player in the world. So comparing him to Lewandowski last season was a really good achievement for Werner, to be honest. But
yeah, I mean, like, with players like that, before I go to Jerry, like RJ, speaks to me. You're just talking about Werner there. Do you think the likes of the new signings, Werner, Havertz, and even the likes who've been in bad form, like Pulisic, Ziyech, do you think they're going to come start firing now? I would say Thiago Silva as well, but I think Thiago Silva's been all right so far.
Yeah, no, I think like Tuchel's his experience has been like crazy. Do you know what I mean? When he was playing at Dortmund, he changed it completely for them. He won the club. Sorry, he won the German Cup there. He went to PSG. He changed his whole tactics there. He's learning as a manager, and I do think his experience will definitely impact that squad for sure. And unlike other managers, he's able to use different formations and get the most out of every player that he has. He's done it at PSG, and it's worked.
Yeah, no, he has. And I think this is a massive thing. I'll say it again. Tuchel comes in not just being a good manager, but a manager with a lot of experience. And I think that is what Chelsea want to do. Because I asked this question on my Twitter earlier, you could have waited for Nagelsmann, but could that be another thing where Nagelsmann is not quite experienced enough for the Chelsea job? It's a possibility. He's a young manager. So maybe this is a part of the plan. We're bringing Tuchel in for a year and a half, then going for Nagelsmann. But yeah, Jerry, give me your thoughts on it.
To be fair, I think it's a good move because I understand how Chelsea fans feeling that Tuchel wasn't their number one target, but I think it's a good move for them because like there are a lot of German players in that squad, and he understands German, and like I just said, he can use the information, and he's able to get the best out of the squad, and hopefully we can see Werner and Havertz in their true prime now because they're still young players, and it's going to take time for them to adapt. So obviously, I think it's a good move in my opinion for them, and also what I was gonna say also yeah also what I was gonna say is Tuchel might not be here for too long because if he's here for 3 years, I don't want him to get sacked if he like to keep sacking him. I don't think that's good, but it'll be good. It was nice to see what he's going to do this season and next season because now they're going to challenge for top four and try to get FA Cup or Champions League.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. But comment here from Harry. Evening, guys. How is everyone? I'm good. Thank you for asking. Harry's a good support. He's a good friend of mine as well. But like you were saying earlier, Jerry, about Ollie, I want to move on to Manchester United now. I want to speak about them, how they've been this season. They're no longer the top of the league. I'm pretty sure they're second now, point behind Man City, because obviously we see what Man City done tonight. I don't think they're just top on points. They're probably definitely top on goal difference now as well. Yeah. Speak to me about what Ollie's done at Manchester United, because you're both United fans. I think he's done an incredible job. I still think he's underrated. I think the disrespect he gets on social media is ridiculous.
Jerry, you can go first.
To be fair, I don't really care because tomorrow I got win anyways. That's why I'm not really bothered. But Ollie, people need to start respecting his name now because like the only way that people are actually going to respect him and give him a massive credit is if he gets a hand on a Premier League trophy, which any manager have done for 8 years since Alex Ferguson. But Ollie, the way he's management of Pogba, situation with Pogba is been incredible. Something I haven't seen before. And I trust Ollie because I know he will do something big this season, win the Premier League in 2021, and hopefully, because if he does this season, then he'll be next to Alex Ferguson, can stay for the next 20 years as long as he wants. And yeah, it's true, he will. And obviously, Ollie like knows how to use young players and knows how to make sure that they're ready. Like Amad Diallo, he knows everything. Knows how, like even in press conferences, he answers them very comfortably, and very polite, and I respect him for what he did with my squad. And people need to stop calling him a PE teacher, which I still don't like. And yeah,
It's the United fans as well sometimes, isn't it? It's not even other fan bases. Like, even United
I
fans
know,
don't respect
I know,
Ollie.
I know.
And I don't understand it, because when you watch him week in, week out, you got to understand what he's doing. I think it's a great job.
Very good job.
But RJ, you give me your thoughts on Ollie this season. I think he's done incredible. But
Yeah, no, as a United fan, I've always supported Ole. I think his passion for the club is unmatched to any manager we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson. You know, you look at David Moyes, Van Gaal, I was going to say De Gea, and Jose Mourinho. You know, they've been all good managers, but the fact of the matter is they haven't played for the club. They haven't understand what it means to be a Manchester United player and to be a Manchester United legend, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As for terms for like Alex Ferguson, I think the only similarity I see is the man management. How Ole deals with man management is probably same as Sir Alex did back when he used to do it. You know what I mean? I think bringing in Fletcher was probably one of the best decisions we've made, because there has been rumors that he's been staying around with Pogba. He's been teaching him, look, this is what you do. This is what you can do well, and it's clearly shown. Pogba has definitely stepped up. He's definitely showed us that, you know, here's what I can do, boys, and I'll help you out. As for him leaving, I think he might change his mind if we win the league. You know, he's definitely turned Ole like into a good manager. I always knew Ole was a good manager. That's the thing.
yeah,
You know, there's some victories that we bet Pep 3 times last season. Pep Guardiola, one of the best managers in the world, and we bet him 3 times. No one's keep talking about that. He's known as a PE teacher to Arsenal fans apparently. But what I will say is the fact is about Ole is I do see him. He's going to be a great manager, but the thing is he won't stay as long as Alex. I don't think he'll be the next Alex first, but he'll definitely be a great manager. That will.
To be fair, he has to. No of this board, because I don't trust this board at all. He has to stay, in my opinion.
Yeah, will there be an next Alex Ferguson with this board? Probably not.
No, but what I believe is the fact that he's gone through United probably about 2 years now. He hasn't been backed a single bit. The only time he's been backed was when he asked for a centre back when Eric Bailly got injured. We paid 80 million for Harry Maguire. You know what I mean? That's the only time he's got backed.
I laugh, but he's not a bad centre. Like, he really isn't a bad centre.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
No,
that,
I know. Yeah,
you know, it was desperate times, desperate measures. You know, we had to get a centre back at some point. But I think, you know, with all the challenges he's had this season, surely you have to applaud him for what he's done. Do you know what I mean? About 50 days ago, and this is true, 50 days ago, Chelsea were on top of the league. United were 15th. It's literally switched roles. That's how crazy this world has been right now for football. Football's not the same as it was. You know, Liverpool are not playing the exact way they should be. You know, obviously Virgil van Dijk got injured, and all the other injuries that spurred up and has definitely affected them. But like I said, Ollie's done a great job. I think we can definitely give him a new contract. I've already talked about this. I've saying give him another 3 years. Maybe he might win the Champions League in the next 3 years. You never know. I think if he wins, even if he doesn't win the league, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think
no, it's not. It's not. No,
it's not. No, because he's shown progress. He's shown that, look, you give me time, you give me great things, and I will show you that this is how I really roll. You know what I mean? Like the players he has, the players that he trusts. You know, he's brought up Fred, he's brought up McTominay, he's brought up Rashford into world-class players. You could argue about Rashford, but as well as Greenwood, like Jerry said, he's good with youngsters. He's definitely done very well with youngsters, and for me, you know, he should be credited for, but I don't think he will because he hasn't won anything at United yet. This season might be a change, I think.
Do you think that could be a thing though? Because we've seen United, I think it's 3 semi-finals now in a row that you haven't won. Where are you in the FA Cup now? 4, is it? 4,
we are in round 5. We're playing West Ham.
So that's the last 16, isn't it? So look, I mean, you're in there. You got West Ham. West Ham is definitely not an easy game. They're like I tweeted earlier, they're above Liverpool in the league now. Ridiculous. But with that, do you think maybe it's that final bit for Ollie that he might be missing, that winning last step?
That's a great point, to be fair. But what I will say is that, you know, Ole has a tendency when he's playing a big team or a team that could potentially do damage to him, he usually just like plays counterattack. He just puts all the pressure back, kind of like a Jose style. holds all the pressure, tries to go back, and that doesn't work against major teams. I do believe that ever since Paul Pogba's been playing better, and without Victor Lindelof, I do believe that United have been playing quality football. They've been playing nicer football to watch. He's definitely brought Fred. Fred's just been probably one of the most tenacious people in the league. Probably Bruno as well. You could talk about, and it's as simple as that. Obviously we did ball 3 semi-finals, and I understand at the end of the day, you need to win something to really be remembered. Because I don't think at the end of the day, we will remember Jose obviously with his progression. Obviously, he won us the Europa League. He also won the FA Cup, but he did have Zlatan as well. So big fan of him as well. But what I will say is, Ole needs to win something this season, and if he doesn't win something, I think people might have their doubts. But for me, I'm still Ole in. I will always be Ole in, and for sure.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely fair. I'll say again, what he's done at United, I think is brilliant, especially for a manager with, I'm not going to say no experience, he's got experience, but it's not, I want to say top level experience. But Jerry, how are you feeling about that thing? Do you think it's maybe Ollie's just lacking that little bit of winning mentality, or?
I think, my personal opinion, I don't think he wants to win extra cup. I think he's trying to focus on the league as what the league is on, because right now we are in the title race with Man City and Leicester. And personally, for me, Oli needs to stop playing defensive in big teams. We have to win with big team like Arsenal now. That could be one of the most important games, in my opinion. Because if we draw and City win, then City might go for a title, in my opinion. So what Oli needs to do, is to start doing it, because what he's doing very well right now. Like, he needs to start I'm not sure if I win these we go with win in the end, we win free. So in my opinion, I think Oli is carrying on with doing top, do more rotations, start playing Cavani less games because of his injury record, and Oli just needs to carry on what he's doing, because he's doing well so far.
Yeah, once again, I think that's fair. And you mentioned that Arsenal game this weekend. Arsenal just kept coming off a win now, a 3-1 win away to Southampton. That's an amazing win. Any win against Southampton is a good win. And yourself, obviously 3-2 with that Cavani comeback, fair enough. But speak to me a little bit about that game for the weekend and how crucial it is for your season, because you're on a title race, and we've said this before in the stream. Look how quick things can turn around. Chelsea fans, I want to say 6 weeks ago, bantering Arsenal fans, it's all turned around now. Chelsea fans got their manager sacked before Arsenal. No one would have seen that coming. But speak to me a little bit about that game this weekend. How are you feeling?
The Arsenal one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Arsenal one is a must win, because if we have to win it. If we want to win, go for the title, we have to win against top team. Shows that the team is more confident in going to win the league, because obviously it's been so long that we won a title, and Oli needs to start saying things right, playing the right formation with the right players, and I don't want to see Lindelof and Maguire again. Because Maguire plays better when Bailey's on the pitch, in my opinion, and also Shaw, and let's be real, Shaw has been amazing since Celeste came in, and I wish, and also in this January transfer window, we need to get a right back to up on Wabasaka, up with the competition with Wabasaka, because Wabasaka's looking shaky this season, and we also need to get a centre back as well, like a centre back, because Rojo and Lingard are leaving in this transfer. Lingard's leaving, and obviously Igalo left today, and I wish them all the best. So I hope to see new faces as well. And Arsenal, because I don't know, because Arsenal always turn up against big teams. They always do. So that's why I'm not going to be too confident on that one.
Yeah, okay. If I was in your position, when you're doing so well and you come up against a team like Arsenal, and it's Arsenal away, never confident. But RJ, you've been one to banter Arsenal recently, so speak to me about this game. How are you feeling for it?
Yeah, no, I do think this is a big game. I think every game really from now to the end of the season is a big game, because it really can defy, do we win the league, or are we just going to be top 4 contenders? As for Arsenal, they bet us last time with the 1-0 Aubameyang penalty, and obviously Arsenal fans got that laugh. But I don't think they'll get this one. To be fair, I do think they're playing very well at the moment. They're obviously on a winning streak, but so are United. We have the best. We haven't been defeated in the Prem for over a year, which is, I think, congrats Ole. He's actually done something that no other manager can do. But yeah, like I said, I think, as for Arsenal, they do have their flaws. They do have their tendencies that United can easily break down. I do believe Cavani can take control of those two centre backs.
Cavani's been amazing. I think he's such an underrated signing.
And I think, the only reason he wasn't, people were saying as he wasn't as good, because we signed him last minute. We only signed him I think it was the last day of the window, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it was desperate." And to be fair, it was desperate. It was desperate because we needed a striker. Well, we did need a striker because the fact is we did not get one for Lukaku. Lukaku's a striker that can get you 30 goals this season, no problem, if you give him the right treatment. Ole didn't want him at that time, but obviously when he left, we kind of regret selling him. But what I will say is that the board. Have they got lucky this time? I think they have. They haven't been lucky with every other manager, but I think Ole's done that something. But what I will say about Cavani is his experience and his knowledge on the ball is one of the best in the league, and that's the reason for that.
And you see the link-up play as well.
I mean,
it's brilliant.
You look at what happened against Liverpool. Rashford and Greenwood both setting each other up, similar goals as well, over the top balls for both of them to run in, and they both score, and that's how I see it. As for I see many Arsenal fans saying that Pogba would be outmarked by Partey. Not a hope in hell I do see that, because that Pogba was a different Pogba to what we have now. That Pogba, when we were playing Arsenal back then, was destined to leave the club this summer. He wasn't going to sign another contract. He didn't think he had a future at United. Now he does. Now he believes that we have a chance here if we keep going, if we keep trying. And he even said in a recent interview that we have a chance and we're going to take that chance, and that's what we need. That we need that mentality from Pogba, the same mentality that he had when Juve went to the final of the Champions League. That's the same mentality we need. As for Bruno, I don't think anyone will mark Bruno in that match. If Partey's going to take out Pogba, Bruno's one of a kind. He showed it against Liverpool. There's many people on social media saying he doesn't show up for the big games. Well, he definitely showed up against Liverpool. I know he's only showed up for 30 minutes, but still, he scored that beautiful free kick. I think every football fan should be delighted at that, except for Liverpool fans, obviously. But in fairness, it was a good free kick.
It was a very good free kick. A comment here from Indiana brings us nicely on to our next point. Sonny, Are you worried about not finishing the top four? So we're talking about Liverpool here and how Liverpool might not finish in top four. For me, I'll go first. It's a long season. It's a long season. I think we're past halfway through it now. You've seen our start to it. Our start to it was very good. I think we won our first 5 games, and then obviously we had the injuries, and then we had the Villa loss. The Villa loss was actually before the injuries. 7-2. That was before the injuries. Yeah. And look, we're going through a bad run of form. Every single team this season will or already has gone through a bad run of form. Ours might be longer than others, and that just might be it. There's 4 teams who are going to get top 4 in the league. It's not rocket science. And I think 4 of those teams, it's going to be Man City, it's going to be Man United, it's going to be Liverpool, and it's going to be Tottenham. I think all of that is quality. All of that is just down to quality. I think you look at Tottenham this season, with Jose and Mourinho, they're a different breed. They're getting the wins that they would never get. They're still in every single competition, which is ridiculous. But like I said, for Liverpool, I think the comeback will be strong. Van Dijk, he's originally not meant to come back this season, but it's looking likely that he will be back now. And even if that gives us just a winning streak towards the end of the season, that can be enough to get top 4. We've seen that in so many seasons. So for me, Liverpool will still get top 4, but I'm not going to speak about a title because for me right now, I don't think it's realistic. But RJ, what about you with Liverpool? Is top 4 still a realistic target, or?
You could say it's a realistic target. I'm just going to say it's going to be a great race to the end. I think you look at Everton, who have 2 games in hand over they could go ahead of you. Spurs could go ahead of you. Arsenal nearly could go ahead of you. You know what I mean? It's going to be a really interesting race. But like you said, it's halfway through the season. You can't really make that bold a prediction that Liverpool will not get in top four. I don't think. I think that just shows that you're just ignorant as a football fan in general. Because like I said, United are top of the league. Well, second now, but we will be top tomorrow, I'd say. But what I will say, like I said, this season's been crazy. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, like you said, every team has gone through their rough parts. United had one when we lost to Leipzig. We went on a horrible run. Ole nearly got sacked, and then it was the start from the Everton game. That's when I believe we just started to kick off again, back to our good form, and that pretty much led us to 30 points in our last 10 games. But that, like it's the same for every team. You know what I mean? City had a bad run of games. Now they're back. Leicester had a bad run of games. Now they're back. I think Chelsea are just going through this rough patch with you. And like I said, if you're counting Liverpool out top four is very ignorant. Like you said, Virgil van Dijk is coming back. He's a huge asset for you. And it kind of shows you how much he actually missed him. Do you know what I mean? You know, having two midfielders and centre back. I mean, if United had that, I don't think we'd even get top 10.
Originally, to be fair, when Van Dijk got injured, we actually played. I wouldn't say better, but we were still winning games. And we're actually winning more games. But that needs a bit of context. I think that was a bit like, like a fresh bit in the squad. Fabinho as a centre back is a good centre back. It's not like Van Dijk got injured and we've got Reece Williams and Nat Phillips starting. We were okay back then. We had Gomez and Fabinho. But now you look, we don't have Gomez anymore. Now it's Fabinho, and then sometimes we have Matip, sometimes we don't. And you look at it now, and centre back is a massive, massive issue. And no, when you say right Liverpool after top four, I think genuinely a centre back could literally decide that. So I wouldn't say ignorant. I genuinely think, say we've got Reece Williams and Fabinho for the rest of the season, which, look, I love Reece Williams. Please, God, please no. But look, I think that can decide it just a centre back, and I don't see us buying a centre back this month. So it's going to be interesting. But Jerry, speak to me about Liverpool in top four.
There's two things, One, Liverpool, The thing is, the reason why Liverpool aren't competing because Salah, Mane, and Firmino are all burnt out. Because Klopp has been playing this system for like 4 years now, like nearly 4 years. Klopp has been playing them in 38 games in 4 years, and in my opinion, replacement is important because you didn't replace Lovren, and look what happened. You got Salah, what's his name, Van Dijk got injured, and it's a big mess for you people because big mess. And Jota was your best, because when Van Dijk got injured, Jota was your best player.
Yeah, he was very good. Obviously,
This
the thing is about Jota, just a massive thing with Firmino, because you say Firmino is burnt out. I think Firmino is the most burnt out of the front three. I think we weren't lying when when we say he's got a big job in that front three where he links up play. I no longer think that he offers that as much as he did. I think he's lost his game. And I think Jota, he came in and he made it look so easy. And for me, that's embarrassing for Firmino. Like, Jota got a hat-trick in his fourth game. Like, how embarrassing must that be for Firmino? You cannot make it look that easy, can you?
No, of course not. And like, how long is Jota out for?
I think he's back. I want to say probably back in training in about a week from now, hopefully. But obviously, I can't say. That's just projected.
I still think I think there's a potential that you get like Liverpool can still get top four. But if you guys get top four, you guys need to sell a lot of players. I need to spend big this summer transfer window, because like you can't, because there's some player like in the league. Some of your players in your squad are getting to age of 30 now, 29, 30 now, and they're getting old. So I need fresh new players and start a new system, because that's why it happened. Same thing happened to Klopp in Dortmund.
Yeah, I do get you come from that. And with the point that you said about the front three, being burnt out, I completely agree with that. Because look, we haven't had a real mix-up in that since Jota, and Jota came in and he's got injured almost straight away. which I don't blame on him. I blame that on Klopp because it was a meaningless game, and I'm pretty sure it was a bad challenge, something that happened there. But look, hopefully he's back soon. Hopefully he does help the front three. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about singularly Arsenal now. We'll look at Arsenal's bounce back. For me, I think it's been very good. I think they're in very good form right now. If you take out the cup games, I think in the league, I want to say they've won 5 of their last 6. And look, I'll say again, 6 weeks ago, you would have never ever seen Frank Lampard getting sacked before Mikel Arteta. You wouldn't guess that in a million years. So RJ, speak to me about Arsenal. Like, what do you think they've done to turn this form around? Because they are in good form right now.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, like I do believe it's the same problem Liverpool had. Same with Arsenal. You know, Aubameyang was completely drained for energy. He wasn't showing any character or leadership on that pitch, even though he's one of the best players. And I do think him getting dropped was probably one of the most impactful things they've done in the season. It kind of shows that, you know, Arteta isn't, you know, he wants the best out of those players. And the fact is that Saka's playing very well. Lacazette's playing very well. Rowe, who's a new player, is playing very well. Partey is playing very well. You just put all the good players who are consistently playing well, and that's how it works. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? I think Aubameyang, once he was burnt out, you know, I think that was. I was even saying to myself, I was like, you know, like give this man a break. You know, he's been carrying this team ever since he joined with Arsene Wenger. He's been carrying this team from the attack. Like you look at last season, he got a lot of goals that kept Arsenal in the Europa League spots. And I do think Arteta, yes, he does. He's not as good as Ole. I do believe that whenever he's playing bigger teams, he does tend to, you know, like I do call it the Jose effect. Just go back and defend, hope they don't break us down, and try and counterattack, which they're capable of doing. But it's not the way to play in the Premier League, because that's the thing. Anything could happen in the Prem. You know, you've seen many victories, like the Villa game, like the Spurs game against United, 6-1. We bet Leeds 6-2. You bet Liverpool bet Crystal Palace 7-0. Anything can happen this season. I think that's why it makes it so enjoyable this season compared to last season.
It does. It really does, because it's no longer a 2-horse race, is it? I think, and even if it is, it's no longer Liverpool and City, I think we can say. I think towards the end of this season, I do not see it's just being 2 teams in it. I think it's either going to be one or it's either going to be a few.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, you know, what I think is, you know, with obviously the absence of Kevin De Bruyne, with the absence of Jamie Vardy, I think those 2 teams, Leicester and City, will be weakened. Obviously, they didn't show it against West Brom, but I mean, when you're playing Sam Allardyce, he literally is playing 10 at the back, 1 up top, and pretty much that's how he's played. He's played that for his whole entire managerial career, and it's worked to some degree. Obviously, he did draw against Liverpool at Anfield, which was a very good achievement on his part. But like I said, do I think? I know I'm obviously cutting in, but I don't think he'll keep them up. To be fair, they don't have a strong enough team to stay up. But as for, you know, sorry, I just ran out. That's what I've done. That's all.
Yeah, no, that is completely fine. I get where you come from with that, Jerry. Going back to the Arsenal thing, like, look, we've seen Arsenal turn it around big time. I say it again, in the league, they're in great form. I think it's 5 wins of the last 6. So what do you think they've done to get that turnaround? Because I say it again, who would have thought Frank Lampard would be sacked before Arteta?
Yeah. To be fair, like, this shows that Chelsea are a bigger club than Arsenal, because if things don't go well, they sack the man straight away. But after that Chelsea against Arsenal, when they actually won game, I was shocked. Like, what's Chelsea after 200 million spent, and you're losing to a club like Arsenal that are battling relegation? But to be fair, James, shut up. To be fair, like, Arsenal actually started winning games, and they're going back to everyone. If Arteta keeps up, I think he can try to push to get a top 6 this season, in my opinion. Because right now, like, there's so many teams that are getting like that are strong, that get tough. It seems like Everton, Ancelotti doing well, and with his players, and let's see, like, Leicester, like, new top 6 plus 1 now, because when Leicester are main man's football with their striker Jimmy Vardy in good form, was injured, but obviously, and then yeah, everything's going well so far for Mikel Arteta, and I'm actually shocked to say because it's only his second season to his manager again. I thought like the job was too big for him at the beginning, and he shouldn't have got it too early. But
Yeah.
it's good to see him turn around after the FA Cup win. It's good to see him turn around, and hopefully he can carry on this season, the next season. I'm really
Yeah,
impressed.
I've said this a million times. I think it's disrespectful that the fact that these clubs are now deciding to bring in club legends, or even not even legends, former
It
players
shouldn't
as
be.
managers. Because look at the proven managers that are out there. They're almost proven to give you a better job. I get it with maybe Lampard at the start. He's got the emotion. He knows what Chelsea are like. He's all Chelsea. But as a manager, you need more managerial skills and you have passion to be a good manager.
And
And
this
that's what these clubs just don't seem
and
to
this is the
get.
thing. And this is the thing. Like it can because bringing legends in like Chelsea. Lampard was a great legend, greatest player, and that led to the Premier League title, led to the Champions League, every trophy, and they sacked him. And literally, as soon as the Chelsea fans heard the news, like the fan base started to split apart. Like the Lampard owners and the lot of players, lot of people that were crying as well because they loved Lampard as a player, and of course they'll feel because there's a lot of emotion. And in my opinion, I think Abramovich should no longer like bring in legends now because it can be too much for the Chelsea fans as well because they watch them as a player and legends, yeah, it's just legends like is sometimes could be like shouldn't like even though like what I'm trying to say even though the job is too big for Lampard, yeah, I think he should stay at Derby, in my personal opinion, because the job was too big for him and he wasn't able to get the best out of the players that he had, especially the talented ones, Werner, Ziyech, and Havertz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think with Lampard didn't get the best out of any of those players. You could argue Ziyech, but I think Ziyech's one of those players that you don't need a manager to make him play his sort of style, do you? Or with Havertz, it's completely different because his
And
positioning. Havertz's first game for Chelsea, he played on the wing. What that is, that you cannot do that for Havertz.
and
Havertz is
Mason
not a
Mount
winger.
and
He's barely even a
Mason
midfielder. Go
Hmm.
on.
and, and Mason Mount is the only player that fought for him because see I can tell that they gave him the captain armband in the last game, telling me to thank you for everything you've done for me, for helping me out and to saving my job because that film game when he scored. That's when, because that's like, because everyone started calling him Mason Mount's son. Okay, man, never finished with Liverpool. Jam, be quiet, please. I'll listen to his friends. If you're not on top, don't talk to me.
Hmm.
Jem says Chelsea top three. Well, look, because I have said this, I think the manager bounce, whoever came in at Chelsea, whether even it's like another Lampard, I still think the manager bounce is going to be very good because the players that are there. But now that you brought in a proven manager like Tuchel, he shouldn't just give you that manager bounce. He should give you consistency because he's been in this position lots of times. Manager of PSG, manager of Dortmund. He knows what he's doing. He's not a bad manager. He's a good manager. He's experienced, and this is what Chelsea need. And we were obviously speaking about earlier how Chelsea maybe they shouldn't have appointed Nagelsmann right now because that was definitely an option if they waited till the summer. If they do this now with Tuchel, which is what they've done, give him a year and a half contract, then maybe go for Nagelsmann at the end of next season when he's a bit more proven. That could really help them because he's going to be more proven at that point, and you don't want another Lampard situation. And look, I don't want to compare Lampard to Nagelsmann in any sort of way because I don't think they are comparable. Apart from the experience bit, I think Nagelsmann obviously has more experience than Lampard, better experience, but it's still not. Is it enough experience for the Chelsea job? I don't know if it is. I really don't know if it is. But Lily White TV being Eleanor moves us on to our next point. Obviously, she's a Tottenham fan. Hope you're good, Lily. Eleanor, we're going to speak about Tottenham this season. So Jose Mourinho, his first full season. I mean, look, I think he's done an incredible job. I think they're in every competition still. I think they're in last 16 in the FA Cup. They're in a League Cup final, a final for Tottenham. Look, that's big. If they go on and win that now, Jose Mourinho's already done more in a year and a half, in God knows how many years, for all the rest of the Tottenham managers. So look, Jose Mourinho, he's doing a great job. His first full season. What do you make of it, RJ?
I mean, it's kind of, well, I will say, right, it's kind of funny how both teams, like, Tottenham could potentially win their first, piece of trophy. I mean, you can count the Audi Cup, but it's not a cup. But like it's funny how Pochettino has already won his first ever cup as PSG manager in under 17 days. It just shows that, but I do feel like there was a bit of unluckiness, if you know what I mean, with those two. Obviously Pochettino was an unreal manager at Spurs, and obviously he created the likes of Dele Alli, Harry Kane, Son. You could argue with a lot more players, but for Jose, I kind of underestimated Jose. To be fair, obviously as a United fan, we actually we did well for one season. Then the next season, he was a lot more moody than ever. That's what I will say, because Ed wasn't giving him a centre back. But yeah, no, he's definitely impressed me as a football fan. He's definitely he hasn't played the same way as he has in his previous jobs, where he's just played from defence.
And Harry Kane, on that, he's came out and said, sorry for interrupting, it's just on this point. Harry Kane has came out and said that Jose Mourinho isn't the one telling them to sit back. Personally, I don't believe that. Harry Kane said it's just their instinct once they score to sit back and try and defend it. Do you think that's true, or do you think that's actually Jose Mourinho who is telling them to do that?
Of course it's Jose. Have you ever seen him go back with Poch? There's not a hope in hell he would go back under Poch. But I think Jose was just like, look, go back up ahead, and you'll score goals. Simple as that. But I think as for Jose, like he's put Kane and Son on the map. Those two players have been outstanding, really. If I'm really honest, like he's changed in Ndombele. I mean, his first. Oh,
and Ndombele, what a player!
His first 6 months on Ndombele was like, I'm never playing for you again. Ship me off to Barcelona, and he's kind of become besties now with Jose. But what I will say is, it's an unreal job what he's doing at the moment. He could win silverware, which I think Spurs desperately need, especially for the fact that they haven't really won anything in a very long time. And I think, beating City will not be an easy job, but do I think they'll do it? Of course. They'll be hungry just to get that first piece of silverware into that club after a long, long time. As for centre-backs, I mean, you can argue that Jose wants one, but, Eric Dyer and Alderweireld has been doing good enough, I think, for me. But, but I think some transfers like, Gareth Bale, they've been a big failure. Say, like, he's been overhyped.
What just today?
I mean, it was against Wycombe Wanderers. Like the best player they have is
Jerry. Jerry's trolling, man. Jerry's trolling. He doesn't mean that.
I mean, they did score like 4 against some Marine team or something like that. But anyway, what I will say, like I am surprised that Jose's done so well. Do I think he'll get top 4? Maybe. Do I think he'll win the Europa League? Possibly. He's all the potential, because that's the thing.
Not me being a Tottenham fan, but I think any Tottenham fan, you take any of them, don't you? You take any.
Oh yeah. I mean, of course, any silverware will do for them, I guess. But what I will say, something that Jose is compared to Pochettino, Jose is a winner. He will do anything to win. He's showed that in many jobs. The Chelsea, United, Inter Milan, even Real Madrid. He's done big things at big clubs, and I think he will definitely get Spurs to the next level. Obviously, Pochettino got him to the highest point, to the Champions League final, but you know how that ended. And but what I do believe is, Jose's done a great job. I think he'll continue to do a great job, and fingers crossed. I mean, I like Jose as a person. He's a funny man.
He's box office, isn't he?
There's no one like Jose. No one like Jose, especially on that documentary as well. Like he's definitely a star on it. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think they'll do well, and it was a good replacement.
Indiana says now Poch the fraud is gone. They can win something. I wouldn't call Poch a fraud. I'm sure Indiana's trolling. I think what he's done to that Tottenham team, building it, is very good.
Yeah.
And Jerry, I'll ask you the same question. Go on about obviously Jose Mourinho, what he's done at Tottenham so far. His first full season, very good season. Kane and Son firing. What do you make of it?
Well, like everyone says, like Terry says in full said, the happy Jose is a very dangerous Jose. And let's be real, like the first season of Man United, it was a good season, 1-2 trade and community shield. second season where I started like lost my head with Jose. I was when he threw all the players under the bus. He destroyed Martial's confidence by getting rid by bringing Achille and Alexis Sanchez. Yeah, he was absolutely dead for the whole season. And also, like the third season, I was happy he was gone because he tried to get rid of all my favorite players. And if that deal happened with Martial leaving and bringing it Nashville, I would have broken my computer because I would be pissed. I'm glad that didn't happen, and I'm glad he's happy now, doing well doing well at Tottenham now. Because and I wish him all the best. Hopefully, he wins their very first trophy with Tottenham. Yeah, their very first trophy, and hopefully, with this dinosaur tactics, everything's calling him. Like, hope Tottenham can get used to it because like. They're a good team now, and Kane and Son, they've been unbelievable this season. And if anyone asks me who's been better, Son or Salah, I have to pick Son because this guy has been insane. Even against top six, yes, especially against like against Liverpool, his Son has been incredible. And yes, hopefully they can get. Hopefully these them two can get 50 goals this season. And especially when I watched the documentary, like they have Jose who can push them into the next level, finally win a trophy. Hopefully they get Europa League or they get EFL Cup and if they can beat City, the City again getting back to the best now.
Well, that is literally City's trophy. To be fair, the Carabao Cup, they literally win it every single year, and I would like to see a different winner. I would like to see Tottenham go and win that because I just want someone else to win it.
Oh, Tottenham, yeah.
I do want Tottenham. Yeah, it would be very interesting for the league. You know, it kind of shows how crazy 2021 is. Spurs actually win a trophy for the first time ever. You know?
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the headlines? Like, not only is this year weird with everything else, Tottenham have won a trophy.
And in my opinion, I think Jose deserves a statue for Tottenham if he actually wins 2 trophies.
That's a big shout. I don't know about that.
No, to be fair, do you think the owner's that rich? To be fair,
no, hang on, Jerry. You need to think about this. A Jose Mourinho statue outside of Tottenham. Are you forgetting who he's managed in the past?
No, like if it was something big, like no. If it's something big like this season wins a trophy, and next year goes on to win a Premier League, then then they can get a trophy statue. In my opinion, because that's the very first a Premier League. Sorry, if he does win the Premier League, does win it.
Yeah, look, I think he's managed Chelsea before. I think any sort of statue ends there. When you've managed Chelsea and you got anything to do with Tottenham, I think you should start talking about Chelsea having a statue of him, not Tottenham having a statue of Jose Mourinho. But Samuel's here. Samuel, we were just speaking about Tottenham. Obviously, you wouldn't really like them that much, but speak to me. What you think Jose Mourinho's done his first full season, like Kane and Son firing?
You know what? It's not going to be enough for them to win the title, in my opinion. There's teams far better than them. You know, yes, he got them off to a good start, but since then it's fizzled out. Ever since that Liverpool game, you know, I think toxic Jose is starting to come in now. You can see it a little, because this is going to happen. The wheels are going to fall off for Tottenham. It's going to happen this year. I don't see Jose being manager of Tottenham Hotspur by the end of December. All in all, I think, a lot of Tottenham fans are starting to turn on him because they want attacking football and he's not bringing it. Yes, I know that they're winning games, but some of them are still moaning. The 1-1 draw against Fulham, I think a lot of fans just open their eyes to see that, you can't be parking the bus 1-0 up against Fulham. This can't be done.
Yeah, I mean, Fulham has been one of the teams Arsenal beat this season. But, but it's different, though, because Jose Mourinho, they're still in every competition. They're in the cup final as well. Like, a cup final is very big for Tottenham. So, do you not think you're being a little bit disrespectful or harsh towards Mourinho?
No, I'm not, because Tottenham are a bottlers club, and they're still a bottlers club. The League Cup's not going to change it. Nothing's going to. Yeah, the only way.
You sound like a worried man, Sam. You sound like a worried man.
I'm not worried.
Win the first trophy, yeah.
Listen, do you think I'm scared about a League Cup? Honestly, I'm not, because Jose's going to be gone.
To be honest, you're out of your own main cup. To be fair.
Yeah,
the FA Cup.
True. Win the FA Cup again wouldn't mean anything this season. They can't keep repeating the FA Cup. This last season's the only trophy we could win, but this time, we went out. I'm not as excited about it, but you know what? like Jem said in the comment, Tottenham are the Butler's team. And no, I won't allow you, Eleanor. I won't allow you because you've been running up your mouth. And listen, the tables have turned. And you know what, Jose? The wheels are falling off.
But have
They're
the
gonna
tables turned? Have the tables actually turned? Tottenham are still above Arsenal on the table.
Listen, it's a matter of time because we're on I think one of the best form in the league right now.
No,
it's gonna
City.
happen.
City. You must be
It's
behind.
second.
What about United? What about United?
No, what about us? Well, what about us?
It's gone down to third
Respect my
now.
team here. Respect the PE teacher.
For me, I think you've got probably the fifth best form in the league. If I'm pretty honest.
I think we're six.
For me,
Leicester,
yeah, Leicester, United, City. This is not in order. West Ham, who are on form at the moment, and then I'll probably put maybe if I can think of anyone off the top of my head. But West Ham have done really well this season. You know, David Moyes has definitely clicked into something, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're fourth at the moment. You know what I mean? And you know, you can say all you want about West Ham and David Moyes and you know all that. He does have some quality players like Antonio, Rice, many more. I'm not the biggest fan of West Ham, but like I said, West Ham have been unreal, and I don't think they should be taken lightly, like they have.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't. They're ridiculous. And Thomas Suchek, this guy is scoring more than most team strikers.
The next
he's doing a
Fellaini.
ridiculous job. The next Fellaini. Don't disrespect him like that, man. Come on, Suchek's doing a good job. He's doing a good job. But we're going to move on to City. City, I think they are in the best form of the league. Not Arsenal. I think they've now won like 10 or 11 games in a row. It's ridiculous. I think for me, they're favourites for the title because United, Solskjaer, I think he's won the Norwegian title or something like that. So he's got a little bit of experience. But yeah, two. Fair enough. But look, I think Pep Guardiola, he's all about winning. The amount of trophies he's already won with that team is ridiculous. That team built together right now for City already knows how to win. So with City, RJ, I'll go to you first. Like, can they win the league this season? Obviously, that's a yes. But do you think they will?
It's in contention. That's what I will say. Do you know what I mean? They've lost Kevin De Bruyne. Obviously, you're talking about the last few games. I mean, the last few games they've only been playing like teams in the bottom half of the league. They haven't really tested themselves, in my opinion. You know, obviously Ruben Diaz and John Stones have been probably the best duoship in the league, and you know, rightly so. They have been very dominant. You know, so is Cancelo. Cancelo's definitely turned his career around. He's definitely probably contention for best left back, best right back, wherever he's playing at the moment. He's very diverse. You know, you look at Pep has definitely changed loads of players. You know, Foden has now been in the conversation now, been a very good player. Gundogan, you know, even though they don't have a striker, they're scoring more goals than most teams in the Premier.
Yeah, like I said, they've got like loads of Sucheks in that team. They're all scoring goals, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. I understand that. Yeah, but do I think? What I think is right. Will they really go for the league, or will they go for the Champions League? Since that they're so dominant right now. For me, I think the only thing that they are lacking is the Champions League, and I know Pep inside Pep is like, I need to win the Champions League to solidify my legacy at Manchester City, because the fact is they haven't won one yet. United have won 3, Liverpool have won 6. Pep is clearly wants that, because obviously from the former clubs he's been at Bayern, he's been at Barca. They've done unbelievable in European standards, and I do think he will probably focus more on the Champions League when he gets closer. Do I think he'll win it? Probably not. He'll probably come second, I believe. I too think Bayern will probably win it again with the team they have, and Flick being as dominant as he is. But yeah, coming back to City, I think they are in contention, just like I'll probably say 3 other teams: United, Leicester, and that's probably it. To be fair, those 3 would probably contend it. Liverpool, do I think they're out of it? We'll just have to wait to see how it goes tomorrow night against not tomorrow. Sorry, 2 nights. In 2 nights when they play Spurs. If they lose, I think it's game over. But I think they could impact Liverpool, because they do play City at the start of February, and Jota is said to come back. So you never know how it goes in that match. But what I will say, yes, City are in contention. Do I think they'll win it? More than likely, they are the favourites to win it, and it's going to be down to the wire, I believe.
Yeah, Jerry, what do you make of Man City this season?
So if I'm a bit shocked in them, because like people kept still calling Pep a fraud. He's not a fraud because they just like what they did. They just replaced a company with Ruben Diaz, which was a very good signing, and them RJ said, Stones and Ruben Diaz are the best centre back and best partnership in Premier League this season, and I'm surprised because like Aguero is like he's done now, and they're still playing well without him, and they've been dominating for like 3 years now. Premier Leagues, FA Cups, they've won everything. But one thing I think Pep will only focus on the Champions League because that's what he keeps overthinking. Like he needs to stop changing it. He go back to information that he was using before. So obviously, like players, like Pep needs to be careful how. Like obviously, Pep is one of the best in the world, and probably above Klopp because he still has 2 Champions League. But the thing is, he needs to win it to be one of the best in the world. He needs to win it in a different team because still he's won the Champions League with Messi, and and hopefully he wins it. I don't see him winning it this season because they need a striker. I don't see Man City ever winning the Champions League with Gabriel Jesus as a starter. My opinion.
Yeah, no, but look, like I'll say it again, they've got midfielders scoring and all that now, haven't they? So they are finding a way to get past it. But Samuel, what do you make of City this season?
You know, I have them to win the league for the sole reason for them to stop Man United. That's I genuinely believe. You know, they see if it was someone like a Chelsea, they wouldn't mind for the league that much, but because it's Man United, you know, the noisy neighbours. That's their nickname. They're gonna poop Man United's party, and I think they're gonna win the league. They will. I mean, you know, they've got more talent than Man United. They're better than Man United. And for Man United, with Oli, what can go wrong will go wrong. It's just a matter of time for Manchester United.
Jerry, you're looking at that confused, but it's very possible.
Could you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is when Man United have a good run of games, towards the end of last season, the wheels will come crashing off like they did against West Ham. Yes, the Bruno penalty saved them in the end, but you know, crashing out against Sevilla in a Europa League.
But they still got us over the line. You still got us top 4 though last season.
Yeah, by 65 points, one of the lowest point tallies in Premier League history. So you know, it's not all on Ali. It's around the teams around him, and I think you're not top of the league right now. So the team on top of the league is favourite, and that's Man City.
I mean,
let's watch us win tomorrow. We go back on top, and your point will be. And where are you in the league first of all? Where are you guys in the league?
Talking about Man City.
No, where are you in the league?
You're an Arsenal fan, aren't you? You're not City.
Where are you in the league?
That's not the question, Jerry.
That's not the question, Jerry. Come on now.
That's not the question.
First, we got better team than you, and 2, we got better manager than you.
Wait. So Man United are the big cup. So we're looking down. Look up. Don't look down.
Yeah,
look up.
I'm looking down on you right now because we're on top of you.
No, you meant to look up at your competition. You stop looking down. We focus on ourselves. You're not in the league right now.
We're top of you. Yes, let's go back on top tomorrow. Let's watch. We've got easy games.
How long are you going top of the league though? That's the question. You don't have you don't have the capabilities to win the title. Like everyone's saying, the final 5 games. Watch. I've said it here first. You won't win. You'll collapse in the final 5 games.
Yeah. Keep it.
You think you're favourite?
RJ, what were you going to say about that?
Say about what?
You wanted to say something, didn't you? Or...
I mean, no, I do think Arsenal are good. They're doing well on form, but you have to still consider the fact that they're in 8th at the moment. And, you know, saying that, you know, they will finish top 4, as one of the people in the comments said, you know, you're just dreaming, to be fair. Obviously, I do believe United have a chance to win the league, and we have something that no other team has, and that's Bruno Fernandes. As much as you want to say Fernandes, as much as you want to say he doesn't show up in big games, the fact of the matter is, you know, he's getting more goals than most attackers, most midfielders, most teams in the Premier League at this rate. You know, he definitely causes a difference more than any player in the league. He's definitely brought United to a world-class level. You know, last season, if you really want to compare last season we were 15 points off third. Off fourth, really. We were 5th. We were 15 points off. When Bruno came in, we finished joint third with Chelsea, right? So I think the impact that he brings is something monumental. That's something no one else can. And I do believe he could be that missing formula that Ole needs as a manager. Now, I know honestly that Ole is not the best manager in the league. He's not. I've even said that. I've said that there's 3 other managers who's better. There's Pep, Klopp, and Jose. Those three are the better three managers. Other than that, I don't see any other managers better than him.
Wait,
Yeah.
I thought was that?
Oh, that was Prime.
No.
Prime, I think you joined by mistake or something. No,
Well,
RJ, I get where you come from with that. I think, like you say about Arsenal, they can go through a bad form anytime again, can't they? They're in a good form, they can go on a bad form. But we came to the end of the stream. We've gone for an hour. This is usually how long it is. We've spoken about all the top 6 clubs, also about the Tuchel announcement and Lampard getting sacked. But RJ, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, just right there on YouTube, Robai Jaguar. I do gaming, but I do talk a lot about football. I will be moving on to that side very soon.
Samuel, what about you?
yeah, Samuel 4002 EFC on Twitter and YouTube EGTV Egal.
Goal supported Jerry.
On Twitter is Jeremiah Ojan, and in Instagram is Jerry_147, and you can mostly see me on JNA TV. And lastly, 21's coming.
Still laughing about Prime joining accidentally. Oh, it's mad. Prime's still there in the background anyway, but you can find me at The Football Addiction, FTBL Addiction on Twitter, and then obviously Sonny. Thank you for watching. But before I go, please make sure you are subscribed to the First 11. You have notifications on. You leave your comments in. Even after the stream goes up, Short Indiana will read them. And make sure you support the channel, and I'll speak to you next time.